ahead and start? Okay.
Hi everyone, we're going to get started. So if you're milling around, go ahead and find a seat. I know we've got some available still. Thank you. So welcome everyone to the Family Giving Tree's Back to School Luncheon, and thank you very much for being here at Microsoft today. My name's Thea Nilsson, and I work here at Microsoft as our community outreach organizer. Hello, Dan. Familiar faces in the room. And in fact, Theo Olson, who many of you know from the Family Giving Tree staff, was my first boss over at Synopsys. So I'm always very honored when we can have, when I can open my doors to him now and have his staff in the room. If you haven't met Theo and connected with him about all of the development opportunities that Family Giving Tree is working on, please do that today. So I wanted to talk just briefly. Katie gave me the opportunity to speak about Microsoft citizenship initiatives, and so I'll do this real quick. I know we're running a tight ship here, but I did want to take this opportunity to mention some of the things that we're working on and why we're working on them. So the first thing I wanted to mention is that globally, and this is probably not news to anyone in the room, there is a huge opportunity divide amongst youth, and we're calling youth 15 to 24 for Microsoft's sort of focus. But here we can see that 75 million youth around the world are unemployed. They're 2 times more likely to be unemployed as adults, and less than 50% have a secondary education, and 1 in 4 youth are part of the working poor. So these are all reasons that we really focus on youth empowerment through the use of technology, getting technology in the hands of kids around the world so that they can realize their full potential. This morning we announced a new program that we're calling Microsoft Youth Spark, and you can explore this online with the key goals of empowering youth, enabling them to imagine, and then also to realize their full potential. I'll take a minute here just to see if this loads. But it's basically an online hub where you can see all of the different ways that Microsoft is engaging with this population. So if you're interested in kids ages 6 to 12, can fly on over here, see how to learn how to use Skype in the classroom. This will teach you a little bit about Office 365, our Office for the Cloud, our Partners in Learning program for educators and government officials. So those are just some of the things that we're working on, and this was announced this morning and launched live today, so I'm very excited to share that with you all. Oh, thank you. Thank you. We also have online our local impact map, which will show you areas around the world that Microsoft has been able to engage with, either with cash donations, software, volunteer time. And so there's different articles about all of these different regions. So do check that out. Also, if you're a nonprofit and you want to have your own local impact map, you can do that as well. So we could fly over and see all the places around the country that Family Giving Tree is expanding to and which communities they're able to serve. So that's exciting. Before I hand it over to Dave, I also wanted to show you a micro-documentary, a very, very short little film clip that we created for Family Giving Tree. And this is also on YouTube, but featuring our own Jennifer Columbine. And I wanted to give a big shout out to Jessica in the back of the room, wave Jessica, on my team who managed this project from start to finish. And we're really proud of the finished product. So take a look at that now.
Here in the Silicon Valley, we have such wealth, but there's also so many families that are in need. Just in Santa Clara County alone, there's 625,000 kids that need help. These kids are really lucky if they have any help when they get home doing their homework. Most of them are on their own for that. I heard a story of a child who kept coming to class the next day and having the work done in his head, but it's not on the paper, and they finally figured out it was because the child didn't have a sharpener to sharpen his pencil. Children that get sent to school without any of these supplies, they're really at a severe disadvantage on day one. The mission of the Family Giving Tree is to provide the exact holiday wish or backpack filled with school supplies to the neediest children we can find in the community. A school that has 100% of the children are eligible for the free lunch program would be a school that we would adopt. Today is our back to school drive where we're going to try and get 15,000 children sent back to school with the supplies that they need. Microsoft is a corporate partner of Family Giving Tree. As a Microsoft employee, we were encouraged to participate in two ways. The fast way is to simply donate online, and the fun way is to go out and actually purchase a backpack. So I went out with my daughter and we bought this backpack. We had stations set up all over campus. They made it really easy to donate, and we hope that it puts a smile on the face of a child who gets this the first day of school. When families bring their children into the Family Giving Tree warehouse to do volunteer work, that's really the way that we're going to make a difference in the world, is by teaching the children about giving. They feel really good about it, and the next time they have the opportunity, I believe that they will go ahead and help someone else. Microsoft has a really strong corporate culture of giving. The money that we get in from the corporations allows us to run our programs, allows us to keep the lights on. Participating in the backpack drive with Family Giving Tree is a great way for employees to get involved. Microsoft is involved by matching the donations that the employees give. The Family Giving Tree is my MBA class project. I never in a million years expected to grow into what it has become. It's amazing how many people have jumped on board and believe in what we're doing. Microsoft empowers youth through technology training and education. We hope these backpacks help encourage youth to imagine a better tomorrow.
Well, wow, what a group. And I must say, my slideshow is not going to be nearly as cool as hers. So that was a cool. I'm Dave Bratton-Kearns, COO of the Family Giving Tree, and thanks so much to all of you for coming. And before I go any further, I want us to give it up for Microsoft, Thea, and Jessica, and the great production they put on today. Thank you very, very much. We'll try to keep it brief to get you in and out of here as quickly as possible so you can battle the northbound 101 traffic that I think a lot of you already saw. I thank you all for coming, but more importantly, I thank you for your support. Most of the time, we're with our hand outstretched to you. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Whether it's money, support, backpacks, gifts, or whatever. This is one of the few opportunities we get to really, really thank you for all that you do for us. And because of all of the great support that you provided us this last year, I am proud to say that we just pulled off the biggest, best, most productive back-to-school backpack drive in the 17 years the Family Giving Tree has been doing this. And no, I'm not going to steal my boss's thunder, so I'm not going to give you any numbers yet, although you may have seen some of them in the news. One little bit of housekeeping. Some of you are going to get your pictures taken while the award ceremonies are going on, and some of you aren't. If you want to get your picture taken with Jen or anybody, please come up afterwards, and we'll have it an extended Kodak moment for all of you. And before I go any further, I want to make a couple of introductions. First of all, you'll see a number of us are in sort of our Family Giving Tree uniform, this maroon stylish shirt with the logo on it, and that's the staff of the Family Giving Tree, and with one or two exceptions, we're all here today. So if the entire staff would kind of wave your hand and let everybody know who you are. So. And we're also grateful to have several of our board members here. So rather than wave your hand, I'd like our board members to stand up. Marguerite Lee, Bill Silker in the back with the blue shirt. Todd Yoshida. Todd, by the way, is the co-founder of the Family Giving Tree with Jen. They were in the same MBA class together. So, yeah. But they provide us a whole lot of support in so many ways, and we couldn't do this without them. And speaking of support, a lot of you, because I'm talking to you in the room, a lot of you do a lot of very unique, interesting, creative things to support us. And this is just a small sampling of some of the things that some of our supporters do for us. You've got Armanino McKenna, and I actually just pronounced that correctly. They came over to our facilities a couple months ago with a whole group of them, and they volunteered to do some menial tasks that they all said, God, it's nice not to have to think so much anymore. And they brought good pizza. Okay, and that was always welcome. Texas Instruments, we can't thank you guys enough. You've been supporters of ours forever, and the STEM event down at Downtown College Prep was fantastic, and we thank you for that. Santa Clara County Federal Credit Union, they had a special event that they pulled off as well with some kids that worked on their volunteer days. And Synopsis, their Stuff the Butts event, Theo, our staff member, could talk to you about that in depth because he's been helping do that for years when he was at Synopsis. But they've been doing this for a long time, and it's just a small sampling of some of the things you guys do for us, and we really, really appreciate it. And we couldn't pull this off without you. Okay, so I get to click these. I'm going to talk a little bit about warehouse operations, okay? If you've been to our warehouse, you might get some feel for how this works, okay? If you haven't, and I'm going to assume that many of you haven't, I'll just give you a brief overview of how things work. It's kind of a 5-step, overly simplified process that starts off with people dropping backpacks off at the warehouse. Now, I say simplified because the actual backpack drive began about 4 months before this. Okay, before the first backpack is dropped off at the warehouse, we've started planning probably around about March, February-ish kind of thing. A lot of work goes into it. But at the warehouse, we get all these people that come by in all sorts of vehicles, and they drop off their backpacks. And thanks to a whole bunch of volunteers, we take those backpacks. Come on, there we go. And we take them inside the warehouse. And I want to thank iStar Financial, by the way. They're not here today, but they're the ones who lent us that facility in Milpitas. And we begin sorting them. And the first stage sort is by grade range and gender. So the backpack that we give to a first grader is a little bit different than the backpack we give to an 11th grader. The 11th grader backpack also weighs about 10 times more. And when you're picking them up and doing things with them, you find that out in a hurry. So once they've been initially sorted by that, we do a quality control process where we take every single backpack that has been given to us, and once again, with our hundreds of volunteers, we take them up, we take every item out of the backpack, we kind of catalog it in a way, and make sure that the backpack is complete. And if it's not complete, then we add items to it. If it has items in the backpack that shouldn't be in there, we take those out. We then usually give those to teachers. So now we have completed, quality-controlled backpacks. Okay, now we start sorting the backpacks by schools, because that's who gets them. Primarily it's schools. We give them out to the schools, and they in turn give them to the students. And this is what we call the rowing process. If you're familiar at all with our holiday drive, where we row the gifts, this is kind of similar, okay? We row them all out and get them all sorted. And then last but not least, the 5th step, the people at the schools come by and pick them up. And what's happened more this year than I've ever noticed in years past is we get people showing up in a Honda Civic with a child seat in the back and a spare tire in the trunk, and they think they're going to pick up 100 backpacks. It ain't happening, folks. And so we had a number of people having to come back 2 and 3 times to get the balance of the stuff. And when you have kind of limited space to work with, you got these extra backpacks lying out and taking up space on the floor, it gets a little problematic. Okay, so that's kind of how it works. Now, the reality is, though, that there's a 6th step, and that does not occur at the warehouse. That's when the students receive the backpacks. And this is what it's all about. And this is where your efforts end up, with those students receiving the backpacks. And if you ever had a chance to see it and see the eyes light up and the faces light up on some of these little kids, it's and you're looking at somebody who's hard and cold, and I worked at corporate America, and this gets to me, okay? This is really cool stuff. A lot of people wonder, well, how do you pick the schools? Who gets this? How do we do this? And we actually have a method to our madness. We target those schools that have really, really high percentages of the student population that qualify for the federal free and reduced meal program. And that's kind of our surrogate for qualifying for the program, and the schools distribute them very, very well. And one of the sad parts about this is in Santa Clara County alone, there are about 17 or 18 schools where 100% of the student body qualifies for that. Okay, so that's quite a need. We did a lot of backpacks this year. We think we had a really, really good drive, and we did. But I can tell you this, it's just a drop in the bucket of the need. So, and when Thea talked about some of the need of her numbers up there, it was pretty telling. Anyway, I've talked too much already, and at this point, I'd like to introduce Jennifer Cullibine, my boss, the founder, and the executive director of the Family Giving Tree.
Hopefully, yes, the microphone's working. Awesome. So I had the great pleasure to attend a lot of our backpack distributions this year. And kind of like David said, it's something that you'll never forget. We did kindergartners and first graders a few years ago, and it was just the sweetest thing to see these kids open their backpacks and get really excited over rulers. So this last year, I did a Dorset Elementary School, which was K through 6. And even the 6th graders are opening their backpacks and pulling out rulers and saying, how cool is this? My kids, they get what they need. It's never a big deal. These kids, it was like Christmas. It was like Christmas for them. So it doesn't end just because they get into 3rd or 4th grade. I'm sure Principal Ham is going to speak, and he'll tell you some of the why and the wonderful hows and what happens when you get a backpack and all that good stuff. So I'll let him do that. So we get our results. Our program totals for, you're going to tell me I have to click? Oh, no. Elves and technology do not get along. All right. So we had 390 host companies or organizations that helped support the drive. We had 23 sponsors, which is significantly more than last year. 818 volunteers, and that's more than 100 more than we had last year, which makes sense because the drive went an extra week this year, and we needed the help. And thank you very much if you were one of the ones that heard our call for help and sent people to us, because we were really desperate there that last week. That's about 1,800 volunteer hours spent in the warehouse, and we had 153 schools that we served. And the grand total, when you add all that together, is 21,000 backpacks. So the family giving tree is 23 years old, and we have never blown a goal out of the water as well as we did with your help this year. And it's been an absolutely amazing experience to go through, and being able to call schools and say, you are on our waiting list, but we actually have backpacks for you, come and get them, is the greatest feeling ever. Really, really wonderful. So I'd like to invite Al, our program manager, up, and he will start giving out our awards.
Well, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Al Galan, the program manager. It's great to see you. Thank you for making time during your busy day. We had a lot of fun this year at the warehouse. We're definitely busy. It's great to really place faces with names for us. I help our host coordinator, Dawn Fraunfelter. Dawn, you want to wave? There you are. Oh. Yes, she's helping me. I forgot. It's really nice when you drop off and we place the name with the organization and the face, and it's a lot of fun. Same with the volunteer groups. So it's great to see you all today. I am going to go ahead and review the awards, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. Funny picture. So what I'd like to do is talk about the 100 Club, and it kind of lives up to its name. These organizations have donated either a combination of 100 physical backpacks or donated money and physical backpacks that equated to 100, more than 100. So what I'd like to do is, if you received a 100 Club award, or if you see your name on the list, if you could just stand up so we could just kind of see how many folks are here in attendance. All right, great job. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now I can tell you, with 21,000 backpacks, it's a lot of lifting. My arms are a little more toned now because of that, but thank you very much. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the most improved, and that is info blocks. They increased year over year from last year to this year, 177%. So is representative from info blocks, if you could come up to the front. Yes, so if you could, these next few awards, if you could come to the front and receive an award. Okay, our next award we call the Golden Heart, and this is a per capita award. So when you sign up, you tell us how many people are at your company and your department office. And NEC Token America had a ratio of 2 backpacks per employee. Is anyone here from NEC? All right, well, thank you, NEC. We'll move on. This year, our Public Host Award goes to Pete's Coffee and Tea. They've been increasing for the last couple of years, and this year we had our materials in 41 of their stores throughout the Bay Area, reaching up as far north as Berkeley, and we saw a return of over 500 backpacks from all those stores, so it's a great... The next award is the Shiny Red Apple Award. Is Holly Rowland here? She has. Okay, that makes sense. Just briefly, Holly's daughter Safra had a birthday party, and basically she asked her friends that instead of giving her a gift for her birthday, that they bring school supplies or backpacks for her birthday, and collectively they donated 300 backpacks to the family giving tree. So that was just a very generous and kind-hearted thing. I tell you, when I was a kid, I wasn't thinking about that. So, yes. 6 or 7 years old, so. Okay, so we will go through the Golden Backpack Awards, and this is the most backpacks for the size category of those companies. So I would like to start with our companies that have between less than 100 employees. And our winners, we had co-winners. We had Avalon Bay Communities and Nandalala Mission. If you could come to the front and receive your award. And our next largest category, which is less than 750 employees, is Tyco Thermal Controls, 386 backpacks. Winnie was volunteered well over about 10 to 20 hours with us this year too, so thank you for all your help, Winnie. Our next category, less than 1,500, is Texas Instruments with 1,036 backpacks. And again, this is a combination of physical backpacks and money donated. What we do is divide that donation by $30, and that equates one backpack. So that's how we come up with the cumulative number. Our next category then is less than 3,000, and it's Microsoft with 425. Who knew? All the way from the back corner. And our last category and largest is 3,000 or more employees, and the winner here is Cisco with 1,706. Thank you again. Wonderful job to all those folks. We wanted to recognize some of our in-kind donors. In attendance, I believe we have Lockheed Martin that provided printing services for us. Anyone from Lockheed? All right, great, thank you. Microsoft for the appreciation luncheon. So we just saw the... and SanDisk that provided the flash drive cruisers. So, thank you. Thank you very much. So just wanted to thank everyone again. We had a super successful year. It was a lot of fun. Definitely, when we saw the backpacks, we knew we were onto something good this year, and it was very exciting for the staff. Thank you. You will hear something shortly about the holiday drive, so I won't say too much, but I'm looking forward to seeing you. No pressure. But so what I'd like to do now is introduce Mr. Steve Ham, who is a principal at Piedmont Middle School.
Good afternoon. This is really weird being in a room full of people that are actually paying attention to me. Thanks for that. I work at Piedmont Middle School. I've been there the last 5 years. I'm a San Jose native, and I've been in education about 20 years. Let me tell you a little about Piedmont. It's in the Berryessa and Union School District in Eastside San Jose. We have about 820 students. Of those students, about 60% receive free and reduced lunch. Now, to get an idea what free and reduced lunch is in your head, that means if a family of 3 makes less than $30,000 a year. So you can imagine there's a lot of children that are at risk in our neighborhood. We have about 20 languages spoken at our school. It's definitely a blue-collar neighborhood. We have a lot of hardworking families working multiple jobs to make ends meet. Family Giving Tree obviously provides backpacks for us, and I kind of got hooked up about 5 years ago when I came onto Piedmont. They said, you got to go get some backpacks. And so I know that I had called Celeste, and I said, I hadn't signed up, but please, what do you have? And I continued to badger. And eventually she called, and I was one of those waiting list people where I was, yes. And I came out with 2 car seats, 1 5-year-old. And my son is just like, oh my gosh, this is paradise. He's in kindergarten. And I said, yes, you're not getting one though. Which was hard, but it was fine. We loaded up, we did. He was surrounded by backpacks, and we took him back to the school. It's a little different in middle school though. We don't have a backpack drive where we have them in the cafeteria and have kids come in because people are too cool for that. And there's a lot of pride. So when people show up, the staff and I kind of have this, undercover system where it's the wink, it's the nod, and let's take them to the room. And that's really the case, where kids will come or staff members will say to me, Steve, I got one. And it's not the kid's in trouble, because that's a different call, trust me. And they come in, and I have cabinets, and I have the backpack, because I do get some surplus items as well. Not only I get backpacks, I get extra binders, pencils, everything. They come in, and they say, what do you need? And they let me know, and I can just start unloading it. And, it's not like they're overwhelmed and crying, but when you have an 8th grade boy who can barely hold up his pants with one hand, reaches out for a hug, you've nailed it. So like I said, I'm really appreciative to everything that they've done. And it just means a lot to have kids come who don't ask, and that they need. And we don't have enough. And I'm only a school that has 60% or so of kids that are in that risk. I can't imagine a school that has 100%. And with what we have, we're able to patch and, kind of fix the hole, but it's not solving the whole problem. But we are appreciative, and as I said, I really appreciate the opportunity to come and voice it out loud, because it means a lot to me, and thank you very much.
Do I hear 100? That's. Oh, then it's 2. No. Steve, thank you so much. And thanks for all that you and your staff do at Piedmont Middle School. We really appreciate it. So thank you. So for those who don't know me, I'm Theo Olson, and I'm a development manager here at Family Giving Tree. And Jean Claybaugh is my partner in crime, and she sends greetings to all of you. She's recovering from shoulder surgery and wishes she could be here, but extends her greetings to all of you. I'm here to recognize our corporate sponsors because through their sponsorships, we're able to basically double the number of kids we're able to help, and for a regular donation. And so we take advantage of bulk purchase agreements with folks like, I'm going to get the two drives mixed up, my apologies, but JanSport or Kids for Kids or other organizations that we work with to buy the items in bulk. And so this year, thanks to our corporate sponsors, we were able to help over 7,000 kids through the sponsorship dollars. So really thank you, all of you, for all that. So without further ado, Jennifer, if you want to come on up. Well, I want to recognize our presenting sponsor for the 2012 Back to School Drive. I've had two venties of coffee, so it's catching up. So Joan Scott from Texas Instruments. Yeah. No. So Texas Instruments has been amazing support for us for many years, and this year we asked them to be our STEM sponsor. There we go. I got to multitask? No. It is. So Texas Instruments was not only our presenting sponsor, but we approached TI to talk specifically this year about what can we do to leverage some messaging around preparing kids for engaging in STEM education, particularly. And so you've heard a little bit earlier about the event that we did with Texas Instruments at Downtown College Prep, and where we supplied the school with not only backpacks filled with all the supplies, but also with calculators from Texas Instruments. And so thank you so much for that. Yeah. Scientific calculators. So we really appreciate that, and because it is important. We know that if kids aren't able to get engaged, if they're not able to stop worrying about where their supplies are coming from, or that they even have paper or pencil, it's hard for them to even get engaged in their learning. And so the backpacks really help in that, obviously, and then to get them further involved and dream about what they want to be, an engineer, a doctor, a musician, whatever it may be. So, all right. Next is our superintendent sponsor, which is SanDisk. So SanDisk, Michelle Myers. So SanDisk, again, has been a long-time supporter for us for the Back to School Drive. We appreciate their sponsorship support. And in addition to their sponsorship, they also provide those wonderful cruisers, the little flash drive kind of things, right? So for our high school students. So again, we appreciate all the support.
All the high school students.
Yes. So thank you, SanDisk. Our principal sponsor, first one, is Cisco, and for Dan Burke will come up for Cisco. One of the things that they do, you saw earlier, I believe, was a photo from their basketball tournament. And this year, they had a large, very successful basketball tournament. Went out there for part of the afternoon, and they had reached $20,000 this year, compared to $14,000 the year before. So it was a very big increase for them, and we really appreciate all the support that Cisco provides. Samsung is our other principal sponsor. Samsung, Vicki Nguyen and crew, come on up. And Samsung, not only they go out and purchase backpacks that they fill with all the supplies, but they also adopt high school backpacks, and these are really high quality backpacks, and probably way more than the $30. So thank you, Samsung, for your generosity. One of the things we started with the holiday drive last year was our Innovator Award. And how many of you took a look at Facebook and saw eBay's amazing program that they did for us this year, where they donated 5,000 backpacks by people just going on and liking the page, adopting a boy or a girl. So I'd like to invite Mickey Sever up. So we hope that you went and took a look at this. It was an amazing project to work on together. And we had the truck break down, going to pick up the backpacks to bring them back over. And so a lot of staff involved with that. So, because their employees helped to put together all the 5,000 backpacks. So, Mickey, thank you so much. Appreciate all of eBay's innovative ideas to help us further and reach more kids. So, and also this year we have a new group, ATI, American Technologies Inc. They are receiving our Hole-in-One Award for a golf tournament. We were one of 5 charities they interviewed, and they selected us as the recipient this year of the golf tournament. And they received over $18,000 for the golf tournament. Come on up. So joining us is Gina Coleman and Selena Helsham. And they went with us we had a distribution in Oakland. ATI is based in Hayward, and we had a distribution in Oakland at Cox Academy. And they were able to come out just before the golf tournament to see and participate in that. And it was a wonderful way for them to see the first graders open up and go, crabs! Yeah, it was just amazing. So thank you again very much. So this next category, what I'd like to do is just invite all of the sponsors to come on up, and we'll do a group photo. And if you'd like a photo at the end, you can certainly come back, and Jennifer will be here and to take a photo. Smile nice for you. Smile pretty. Cheese. Okay. So I'd like to say thanks to Adobe and Fujitsu, Intuitive Surgical, Lam Research, Symantec, and Tyco Thermal Controls. So yeah, come on up. Come on down. You're the next contestant. So these sponsors all enable us to continue to reach more kids, and we try to provide more visibility for them for their generous support. So while they are wrapping up, yeah, they look great. So again, with the student sponsors, the same thing. Come on down when you hear your name called, and we're going to do a group photo. Again, if you like a photo at the end, come and see Jennifer. So I'd like to say thanks to Altera, AT&T Pioneers, Golden Gate Chapter, Citizens Equity First Credit Union, DuPont, Hitachi, which I understand we got to redo. It's HGST. Oh, yeah. So our apologies. So Hitachi. Yeah. But
Hitachi Data Systems is probably correct.
Okay.
We used to be a different branch, but now we're
Okay. Good. See, you're always learning in this job. So, but come on down. But come on down. Come on down. Yep. Oh. Okay. We'll work it out. We'll work it out. I can help you out. No. So, Infoblocks, Intact, Levitt Pacific, Maxim, and Technology Credit Union. So thank you all very much for your sponsorships. We appreciate it. And while they pose for the camera, we'll move on to our public service announcement sponsors, which is really important for us as an organization to really promote further around the Bay Area. We reach the 6 counties of the greater Bay Area, around the Bay Area, with the Back to School Drive. And to help us do that, we really need our public service announcement sponsors to help us get the word out. So we'd like to say a particular thanks to not only Texas Instruments and I'm going to blank, Symantec, who did, as part of their sponsorship, also did PSAs, but to Thermo Fisher Scientific, and I think Ryan had to leave early, and then also to Focus Business Bank, and appreciate you and helping us spread the word about the back to school drives. So thank you. And of course, helping us with those media sponsors with those sponsorships are our media sponsors, which include NBC Bay Area, KLIV, KRTY, and San Jose Mercury News. So we appreciate the relationships we have with those organizations. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Jennifer.
All right, I think I'm on again. No. That makes me nervous. Let's turn it off. Our media sponsors were really powerful this year. We had what, 3 or 4 television stations come to the warehouse on the same day. It was beautiful. We were in 3 languages this year, and I think that can only help us spread in the future, so we're very, very appreciative of that. So on the screen now are just a sampling of the letters that we receive in thanks for the backpacks. We wish we had all of them, and you could each take all of them home, because they're just like the most heartwarming things ever. I think I have one that's really funny. Actually, this one was just amusing. Brandon, he says, I am walking to school. We like to run. Dear Family Giving Tree. And this was my favorite drawing one. It just says, thank you for the present, love Diksha. Isn't that sweet? And they're all happy and they're all smiling, and that's what we need. That's what we want. If you'd like to see more of these, we have them on our website and we have them on Facebook now. So please join us on Facebook and like us and care about us and whatever else you have to do on Facebook. All right. The elves are getting ready. I'm going to have to touch this again. Let's see. Ah. How cute is that? It's so cute. All right. So. Back to school drive is now officially over. And it's time to focus on the holiday drive. And to do that, everyone, you got the memo, right? Everyone has their holiday socks on? Nobody has their holiday socks on? We have to improve on that for next year. All right. We have 27,000 wishes entered into the, we have an online system for the agencies. We have 27,000 children's wishes that we're editing and getting ready to put on wish cards. It's one of the most fun times in the office, both since we make fun of all the funny names that we see and because you're interacting with the actual wishes of the kids. What was our favorite name? We Facebooked it. Purification. No, there was another one. Shady? Shady Nasty. But it's Dynasty. But you know what it looks like. I mean, that was really crazy. All right, so get this. This is the coolest thing other than being able to announce our totals this year, which I still get goosebumps when I think about it. This December, we are going to reach our millionth child. Our holiday drive goal is 70,000 children. That's a pretty big stretch goal for us, but we like it. We like our BHAGs. And probably about the 17th of December, we will end up helping our millionth child, and we'll tell you more about that later. We have a ribbon cutting event that's happening. There's a card on your table, or there was a card as you came in, with important holiday wish dates, and one of those is ribbon cutting. Come help us celebrate the millionth child a week before it happens, because we probably won't have time to celebrate when it really does happen. And those are your important dates. If you have any questions, please feel free to call or email us. It's everybody first name at familygivingtree.org, except for me, and I'm Queen Elf at familygivingtree.org. Could we ask Thea to come back up one more time? Where did she go? Oh, that little turkey. Oh, she's back there. Come on. We want to thank you for this wonderful lunch and the opportunity to gather like this. Really, really, really appreciate it. We couldn't put a lunch off like this on our own. We'd be doing In-N-Out burgers or something.
That's good.
Thank you. And this is for you.
Oh, thank you.
Jesse, here. Oh, thanks. Oh, and last but not least, because we promised we'd get you out of here before 1, and we're going to do it, I just wanted to thank one of our staff members who works really, really behind the scenes, and her name is Diane, and her official title at the Family Giving Tree is Gopher Elf. She makes all of our centerpieces for every lunch, and they're just so creative and all recycled. You're pointing this way. Hey, Diane. Hi, Diane. So I just wanted to give her some special recognition because it's just so fun. We have absolutely no budget, so she used the cans that the food she fed us at the warehouse came out of. So saving us pennies. So anyway, that is the end of our back-to-school drive and our celebration, and we can't thank you guys enough for being a part of it. It was just an absolutely wild ride this summer. So thank you so much, and we do hope we see you back for the holiday drive.